there, film buffs, it's Straight Shooter, back again for another review, and I'm at Team Sound Studios, as I always am, and today's spoiler review will be of Gemini Man. So Gemini Man was directed by Ang Lee, who we know as the director of Project Tiger Hidden Dragon, Hulk, and also Life of Pi. And if you haven't seen Life of Pi, I definitely recommend it because it's visually stunning and it tells a great story. Besides Ang Lee directing, we got Will Smith. And who doesn't know who Will Smith is? Come on. He plays Henry, and he also plays this other guy called Junior. And he plays dual roles because you have Henry, who is older, and then you have Junior, who looks like him also, but like 30 years younger. And they use de-aging and I guess whatever technology they use to show the same actor playing two different roles on the same screen. I don't know what that's called, but I'm sure it has a name or something like that. And we also have Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who I've known her on screen for a while. She's done Scott Pilgrim, she's done 10 Cloverfield Lane, and most recently, another movie I reviewed was Birds of Prey. She played Black Canary in that movie. In this movie, she plays Danny, short for Danielle. You also have Clive Owen. He plays a character named Clay. And the other, semi-main character in the movie is played by Benedict Wong. And I know him from the Doctor Strange movie, and he was also in Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. And he plays a character named Baron. And he's also traveling with Will Smith and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, or should I say Henry and Danny. So Henry is a sniper for a government agency called the DIA. The movie starts off with a mission that he's tasked with to assassinate someone on a train. He performs the task, but he hesitates a little bit. This mission is what causes his downfall in the movie, because he retires after that because he doesn't want to kill anymore. He says the ghosts haunt you and everything like that. And afterward, he meets Danny when he's in retirement mode because he rents a fishing boat and she's the cashier at the dock and all that stuff. But he realizes quickly that she has to be a DIA agent, and it turns out he was right. And they're sent to monitor him and stuff like that. He comes to find out that the guy that he assassinated on the train was innocent. And when he finds that out, that's when the DIA realizes that he's a threat, and they try to eliminate him. And he finds out that Clive Owen's character, Clay, is the one heading the troops that are trying to get at him. And he sends this other agent who's a clone of Henry, his name's Junior, who I talked about before. After a bunch of back and forth, they fight each other. There are a bunch of awesome battle scenes, which I'll get into in a minute, about the action. And they realize that they're probably on the same side because Henry doesn't want to kill anymore. And Junior is going after him because of what Clay told him, because Clay raised Junior as one of his own, like his son or something like that. So that's why he's loyal to him. But he realizes that something's not right after talking to Henry. So the rest of the movie after that is action scene after action scene, and they kill Clive Owen's character, Clay, and Junior goes to college, Henry retires, they're all happy together, him and Danny, Junior, and everything like that. That's pretty much what happens. The first half is a lot of the story, the second half is a lot of the action. And I mentioned before about the action being really amazing. It's because of Ang Lee. And Ang Lee is a really good director because he knows how to frame a shot. He knows what would work well on the camera, and he doesn't rely on a lot of shaky cam and a lot of fast edits. They were showing Junior going after Henry on a dirt bike or a motorcycle or whatever, and there were a lot of scenes where he was, he'd do a wheelie and he'd get off the bike and it would go after him and it would do a flip, and you saw that all very clearly. And there was another scene where he was on a ledge, and he did like a side wheelie, and it flew towards him, and Henry had to duck, and just the nick of time, and like you really felt how adrenal the action was. And that's because Ang Lee knows how to direct the shot. He knows what he's doing. And every frame is beautiful looking. You know, the shot of the train, the shot of the guy on the train, the shot when he's in his sniper scope and he can see them clearly. You can see it clearly. Like, you don't feel like Ang Lee isn't giving you anything that you want to see, because everything you should be seeing and what you want to see is what you're seeing on screen. If I had any complaints about the movie, I would just probably say that a lot of the dialogue and a lot of the build-up parts can slow it down, but the action makes it worth it. And it also makes it so that it's not just a dumb action movie with a bunch of battle scenes and a lot of, you know, chaos going on. Like, the backstory is actually pretty interesting. How Clay cloned Henry and made Junior, and it turns out he made another clone, like a super soldier type person. Jumps up a building and crashes through windows, and he's resistant to bullets and stuff like that. But it turns out at the end, Henry and Junior are the only ones left out of that line, and they destroyed the factory, and they killed Clay. And it was a pretty cool moment because Junior was about to shoot him, and Henry said, "Give me the gun, you don't want those ghosts." And then it looked like he was maybe about to put the gun down, but it was still pointed at Clay, and he pulled the trigger, and there was a big explosion, and there was no way Clay wasn't dead. So, yeah, I enjoyed the movie. It was a nice surprise, because a lot of action movies these days feel kind of cheap. Either there's a lot of explosions and chaos and not much of a story, or the story is dumb and just generic. But it felt like this movie, like, it had a decent backstory, and the director knew what he was doing when he shot action and when he shot basically anything in the movie. I mean, making Will Smith look 30 years younger and on the screen at the same time as the current Will Smith character. And, you know, I was looking to see if I could see the digital effects, but I couldn't really notice. It was just really well done, and I think a lot of video games could take a cue from this, because video games should really be like a lot more realistic. And if movies can do it, then I'm sure video games can too, because they probably use the same technology, right? Like motion capture, or I don't know. But anyway, I enjoyed it. It was definitely worth watching, and it'll be worth watching again because I also picked this one up on 4K after renting it. So how I see it, I'm going to give the movie a B+. It wasn't quite as good as the last movie I reviewed, but it was definitely quite good. That's my movie reviews for today. Stay tuned because I got one more video for you. See ya.